quiet luxury is dead, or at least not what it used to be. Once the gold standard of taste, it's now being questioned, twisted, and some say completely replaced. This fall 2025, we're not just dressing differently, we're signaling differently. And the new message? Wealth whispers, but comfort shrugs. What you're about to see isn't just another capsule wardrobe, it's a glimpse into fashion's next quiet rebellion, lazy luxury. It's tonal, it's textural, it's strangely unbothered. So, in this video, I'll show you what lazy luxury really looks like on the streets and runways, which designers are still holding onto quiet luxury and doing it well, and how to build your fall wardrobe around this new relaxed form of elegance. Because if quiet luxury was about restraint, lazy luxury is about nonchalance with taste. And the shift is already happening. So, what exactly is lazy luxury? And how is it different from just giving up? Let's define the new aesthetic that's reshaping fall style. Lazy luxury isn't sloppiness, it's strategy. It's the art of looking expensive without looking like you tried. Less polish, more personality, less precision, more ease. Imagine wearing an expensive coat, but pairing it with unbrushed hair and lived-in sneakers. Or investing in exquisite tailoring, only to throw it over yoga pants, a tank top, and yesterday's eyeliner. That's the paradox, and that's what defines lazy luxury. It's cozy. It's layered. It shrugs instead of struts. Here's the real shift. Quiet luxury used to be about control. Everything was intentional, minimal, pristine. But lazy luxury, it's reactive. It's style adapted to burnout, work from anywhere life, and a growing distrust of anything that looks too curated. Fashion used to scream wealth, then it whispered. Now it yawns on purpose. But some designers are still holding the quiet luxury line, and they're doing it beautifully. Let's look at the few brands that are still whispering wealth the old way. Toteme didn't abandon its minimalist DNA, it evolved it. Their fall show was a masterclass in tactile restraint, lightweight layering, oversized shearling, nylon capes, and knitwear so plush it practically cocoons you. They added micro sequins and guipure lace, not to show off, but to invite a second look. And while everyone else seemed to dress for attention, Toteme dressed for ease, the kind that comes from confidence, not cost. Lanvin's fall collection felt like a whisper from fashion history. Art Deco influences ran through the new logo, the silhouettes, and even the beading. The brand's signature periwinkle blue made a modern return, alongside couture-level draping, embroidery, and a deep respect for elegance. It wasn't loud. It didn't beg. It reminded us that restraint is a statement, especially when done in silk. Akris stepped into the blue hour, that poetic space between day and night, and gave us a palette of quiet richness. Their fall collection focused on structure and softness. Horsehair handbags, tailored coats in wool and silk, and deep tonal blues that moved like shadows. No logos, no hype, just elevated fabrics, restrained cuts, and emotional simplicity. Akris doesn't design to impress, it designs to resonate. At Gabriela Hearst, quiet luxury took a deeper turn, one rooted in history, femininity, and purpose. Her fall collection blended monochrome outfits with rich textures, referencing ancient feminine symbols like spirals and chevrons, all sustainably sourced, upcycled, or reimagined. A herringbone mink coat made from vintage materials, spiral motifs woven into shearling. This was luxury with memory, meaning, and zero waste, not performative, just powerful. These designers show that quiet luxury isn't gone, it's just become rare, and in its rarity, it's become more precious. But then there's Celine, a brand once known for silence, and now it's getting louder and maybe a little confused. Let's take a closer look at the latest collection that had everyone talking and ask, is Celine still quiet luxury, or has it become a parody of itself? This spring 2026 collection, something shifted. The silhouettes got sharper, the sunglasses bigger, the accessories bolder, and the layering it bordered on costume. Michael Ryder's debut as creative director reintroduced tailoring, but also volume, contrast, and styling that felt more like a performance than a whisper. There were strong shouldered jackets with high button stances, legging slim pants, glove fit ankle boots, slashed neckties, even harem pants and pleated carrot shapes. Yes, the palette leaned on camel, black and ivory, but then came Kelly green, tomato red, and cobalt blue. Suddenly, Timeless started to feel it, curated, almost like quiet luxury, rebranded for the algorithm, and that's the tension. This collection talks like quiet luxury, quality, memory, longevity, but it looks like quiet luxury on stage. So the question is, are we seeing the rebirth of Celine or a stylized tribute, a version of quiet luxury that's been made to go viral? One thing's clear, Celine is confident, it's polished, it's technically impressive. But whether it's timeless or just timed for attention is still up for debate. And maybe that's the real shift in fall fashion, the collapsing line between taste and trend. Let's talk about that next. Once upon a time, style was taste, not trend, not noise, not performance. It was the quiet act of knowing yourself and dressing like it. But today, taste is harder to define because what used to be private is now posted. What used to be personal is now a brand. We wear outfits for photos, for Pinterest boards, for strangers we'll never meet. And somewhere along the way, we stopped asking, do I love this? And started asking, will this perform? Quiet luxury was supposed to be the antidote. Taste without trying, wealth without showing, elegance without explanation. But as you've seen this fall, even quiet luxury is starting to feel curated, styled for the feed, polished for the scroll. So here's the question. In a world where everything is aesthetic, does anyone even know what real style looks like anymore? Maybe that's why lazy luxury is rising. Not because we don't care, but because we're tired of trying to care perfectly. Maybe it's not about what's trending. Maybe it's about what feels good to wear, what lets you move, what makes you feel like you, not a Pinterest version of you. So if quiet luxury is shifting, if taste is evolving, then maybe this fall isn't about following fashion. Maybe it's about reclaiming it. So what does a quiet luxury wardrobe actually look like for fall, especially now when it's shifting into something softer, slower, and even lazier? It starts with intention. Quiet luxury isn't just about price or brand, it's about a feeling of calm, considered elegance, that doesn't rush to prove anything. A fall capsule built around this idea doesn't scream, "Look at me." It whispers, "I know who I am." Think of long, fluid shapes, tailored but unrestrictive. Sweaters that don't cling, they drape. Coats that don't exaggerate, they glide. And trousers that feel structured yet lived in, like they belong to your rhythm, not someone else's fantasy. The color palette isn't meant to impress with novelty. You'll see familiar tones, creams, soft grays, warm browns, touches of black, maybe the occasional off-tone that adds quiet tension. These are shades that live well together. They don't fight for attention, they balance each other. Fabrics carry most of the emotion here. Wool that holds its shape. Knits that look refined even when oversized. Slight textures that catch the light but never glare. This is where the luxury lives. In the feel, not the flash. Accessories? Minimal, often functional, often vintage or worn in. The point isn't perfection, it's a sense of ease. Maybe you'll notice a subtly elevated shoe, a sculptural bag, or a single bold detail, but never all at once. If you're building a fall capsule with this spirit, it's less about collecting and more about curating. You don't need a lot, you need enough. Enough to move between your days, without the anxiety of choosing. Enough to make every outfit feel like you, not a costume. This is what makes quiet luxury so powerful. When it's evolving into something lazier, it still works. Because it isn't a trend, it's a point of view. So now, let's look at how this comes together. A small collection, built with care, worn with confidence, and styled without overthinking. Fall fashion is often portrayed as overly polished or overly dramatic, but in reality, most days exist somewhere in between. That's where quiet luxury thrives. These outfits are designed not for the runway, but for the rhythm of real life. Mornings that are too fast, afternoons with nowhere to be, evenings that ask for just a touch more intention. You'll notice how every look is simple, but not basic. There's a softness to the silhouettes, a fluidity in the layering. It's as if each piece is having a quiet conversation with the one next to it. Nothing feels forced. A relaxed coat thrown over easy trousers, a knit with sleeves pushed up, loafers instead of heels, a scarf tied effortlessly, not to impress, just to belong. This is where fall shift becomes clear. We're moving away from rigid luxury toward lazy luxury. That doesn't mean careless, it means confident enough to not try so hard. You'll see pieces repeated, shapes echoed, layers worn again and again, styled differently depending on the day. That's the heart of this style. It rewards those who wear with intention, not anxiety. And the beauty is, these looks don't expire. They don't rely on a moment. They grow with you season after season. Because in the end, real luxury isn't in the label, it's in how a piece fits into your life. Quietly, effortlessly, and without apology. If there's one piece that quietly holds together an entire wardrobe, it's the white shirt. Not flashy, not new, but endlessly powerful in its simplicity. In fall, as quiet luxury begins to loosen up, the white shirt remains surprisingly relevant. Why? Because it doesn't chase attention, it creates space for everything else to shine. The trick is in the contrast. Pair it with soft wool. Layer it under something textured. Let it peek from beneath structured pieces or soften a sharper silhouette. A white shirt has this rare ability to elevate without competing. It works with jeans, with trousers, with skirts, with tailoring, and somehow it never feels like you're trying too hard. But in quiet luxury, it's not just about what you pair it with, it's how you wear it. Do you button it all the way? Do you roll the sleeves with intention? Do you tuck just one side and let the other fall free? These tiny styling choices tell a story, not of trends, but of self-assurance. A white shirt says, I didn't need to buy something new to feel put together. I needed clarity, and that's what fall is asking for. Not more layers, but smarter ones. Not louder clothes, but clearer style. There's a certain look that doesn't beg for attention, but always gets it. Effortlessly pulled together, slightly intimidating, deeply unbothered. That's rich mom energy. And in fall, it's not going anywhere. In fact, it's evolving. The new version is quieter, cooler, and more wearable than ever. Think soft layers, subtle structure, luxe textures that whisper wealth, not scream it. The palette, restrained, the silhouettes, relaxed but thoughtful. The vibe? I don't have time to overthink my outfit because I'm busy living well. It's not about logos, it's not even about luxury brands, it's about knowing that you are the investment. What makes it powerful is the restraint. Oversized sunglasses worn with a bare face. A slouchy coat over tailored pants. Neutral colors paired with one bold element, like a deep burgundy bag or standout flats. You'll see recurring themes here: intentional layering, understated accessories, clothing that fits your lifestyle, not the other way around. Because rich mom style isn't really about wealth, it's about having nothing to prove. That's the real luxury. So, where does that leave you standing in front of your closet this fall? The truth is, lazy luxury isn't something you buy. It's something you refine. You don't need to start from scratch. You don't need 50 new pieces. What you need is clarity, a clear sense of what feels good on your body, a clear palette that calms, not clutters, and pieces that let you move through life, not perform for it. The key is to pause before you purchase. Ask, will I wear this often? Does it feel like me? Will I still love it a year from now? Lazy luxury is not lazy in effort, it's lazy in appearance. Meaning it looks relaxed, effortless, lived in, but behind that ease is intention. So start with what you have. Revisit those pieces you forgot. Add slowly. Build intentionally. And don't chase trends. Study them to find what aligns with your story. Because the best version of quiet luxury isn't quiet. It's honest. If fall 2025 has taught us anything, it's that true luxury isn't about standing out. It's about standing strong in who you are. Maybe you don't care what's in anymore. Maybe you just want to feel good in your clothes and even better in your life. That's not a trend. That's personal style. If this video gave you ideas or even a little piece about not chasing everything, then I'd love to have you here for the next one. I've linked a free guide below to help you refine your style even more. Or just stay a while. Because here, we don't follow fashion, we use it to become more ourselves.